It's 12:47 a.m. Your dorm room is dark except for your phone lighting up your face. You told yourself you'd start that paper after dinner, then after one episode, then after checking Instagram for 5 minutes. Now, Canvas says the deadline is 11:59 p.m. tomorrow. Your GPA is sitting just low enough to make you uncomfortable. Not failing, not impressive, just average. You scroll past classmates posting internship offers. Someone got accepted into a study abroad program. Another one is locked in at the library with a color-coded planner. You feel that quiet pressure in your chest, the comparison you don't admit out loud. You're not stupid, you're not incapable, but you're tired of feeling like you're almost disciplined, almost focused, almost serious. Here's the part nobody tells you. The problem isn't laziness, and it's not a lack of motivation either. If you stay with me, I'm going to show you how to become mentally untouchable at school. Not loud, not arrogant, just calm, controlled, and impossible to shake. Most students think they need more motivation. That's the first mistake. Motivation is emotional. It rises and crashes. It feels strong at 2 a.m. when you watch a productivity video. It disappears at 4 p.m. when your roommate is blasting music and your phone lights up with a group chat. Willpower isn't the answer either. Willpower burns calories. It drains. You use it to ignore TikTok, to resist ordering food, to start studying. By the time you actually sit down to work, you're already mentally tired. And comparison? Comparison is focus poison. You check someone else's GPA, someone else's internship, someone else's grind. Your brain shifts from execution to evaluation, from action to self-judgment, and self-judgment kills momentum. Here's the uncomfortable truth. You don't have a discipline problem. You have a control problem. Your attention is unguarded. Your environment makes decisions for you. Your emotions dictate your schedule. This is where most students get it wrong. They try harder, but becoming mentally untouchable isn't about intensity. It's about structure and psychological control. And once you understand that, the game changes. Here's the first shift. Stop trying to win battles in your head. Win them in your environment. Most students sit at a messy desk, laptop open, phone face up, 5 tabs running, Spotify playing, and then they tell themselves, okay, focus. That's not focus. That's chaos with good intentions. The mistake is believing discipline is internal. It's not. Your brain responds to cues. If your phone is within reach, your brain stays half alert for stimulation. If your bed is 3 feet away, your body associates the room with rest. If your friends are gaming in the dorm, your nervous system stays socially tuned instead of task-tuned. You think you lack self-control. Really, your environment is controlling you. Correction. Design friction. Phone in a drawer or across the room. Laptop with only one tab open. Library instead of dorm when it matters. Headphones on. Not for music, but as a signal. Unavailable. Small change, massive shift. Example. When I was in sophomore year, I kept trying to study in my room. Never worked. I'd start strong for 20 minutes, then drift. The day I moved my serious work to the quiet floor of the library, every day at the same time, my output doubled without extra effort. Same brain, different structure. Here's what happens socially when you do this. People notice. Not because you announce it, because you're not always around. You're not instantly replying. You're not lingering. You're not orbiting group drama. Scarcity changes perception. When you're always available, you're optional. When you're structured, you're respected. Curiosity hook. But environment alone isn't enough, because even in a perfect setup, your emotions will still try to sabotage you. That's where the real work begins. Now we get to the real fracture point. You can build the perfect study system, but the moment something hits your ego, a low quiz grade, a friend getting an internship you wanted, someone subtly disrespecting you in class, your focus collapses. This is where most students lose control, not to laziness, to emotion. You tell yourself you're fine, but you check their LinkedIn again. You replay that comment in your head. You open YouTube just to relax, and 3 hours are gone. Here's the painful spike. If your emotions can redirect your day, you are not in control of your life. You are reactive. And reactive people never dominate environments, they survive them. Why does this happen? Because school isn't just academic, it's social hierarchy. GPA is status, internships are status, social media amplifies status. Your nervous system treats comparison like threat. Threat triggers escape. Escape becomes distraction. Correction. Emotional delay. When something hits, don't respond. Don't scroll, don't vent, don't compensate. Pause. Name it internally. That's envy. That's insecurity. That's ego. Labeling reduces intensity. It moves the emotion from identity to observation. Example, you get a B when you wanted an A. Old pattern, spiral, complain, avoid the next assignment. New pattern, feel the sting, go quiet, review what cost you points, adjust, move. No dramatic reaction, just correction. Here's what shifts socially when you do this. You become harder to read. You're not easily excited, not easily rattled, not easily provoked. In group projects, when others panic, you stay measured. That calm becomes power. People unconsciously defer to emotional stability, not noise. Curiosity hook. But there's still one more layer, because even if you control environment and emotion, your identity might still be working against you. Here's the part nobody wants to hear. If deep down you still see yourself as the distracted one, the average one, the funny one, the chill one, you'll subconsciously protect that identity, even if it costs you your potential. Most students don't fail because they can't execute. They fail because execution would force them to become someone new. And that's uncomfortable. Let me intensify this for a second. If you stay mentally fragile, you stay predictable. If you stay predictable, you stay in the middle. The middle is crowded, safe, replaceable. Professors don't remember the middle. Recruiters don't compete for the middle. Social circles don't orbit the middle. You become background noise. That's the real pain. Now here's the shift. Stop trying to be productive. Adopt the identity of someone structured. Small language change, massive psychological impact. Instead of, I need to study tonight, it becomes, I'm the type of person who studies at 7 p.m. Instead of, I hope I stay focused, it becomes, I don't check my phone during work blocks. No drama, no announcements. Identity is built through repeated evidence. 3 disciplined evenings in a row? Evidence. Choosing the library over the dorm twice this week? Evidence. Not reacting when someone flexes their internship? Evidence. And here's what happens socially. You speak less about plans, you execute more. Your attention becomes selective. When you walk into a room, you're not scanning for validation, you're scanning for alignment. People feel that. You stop chasing inclusion. You become someone others adjust around. Not because you're louder, because you're steady. And steady is rare. Now let's close this properly. Let's make this simple. You are not lazy. You are unstructured. You are not behind. You are distracted. You are not invisible. You've just been loud in the wrong ways. Emotionally reactive, digitally available, socially scattered. Becoming mentally untouchable at school isn't about becoming cold. It's about becoming stable. Control your environment so it stops controlling you. Control your reactions so your emotions don't hijack your direction. Shift your identity so discipline stops feeling temporary. When you do this, something subtle changes. Your GPA improves, not because you're cramming harder, but because your study time stops leaking. Deadlines stop feeling like threats and start feeling like checkpoints. Dorm distractions lose power. Social comparison becomes data, not damage. And socially, you're not chasing attention. You're not over-explaining your goals. You're not defending your ambition. You move quietly. You finish things. You become harder to compete with because you're not competing emotionally. You're executing strategically. That's mental untouchability. Calm, focused, structured. Not perfect, just controlled. And understand this, subscribing to this channel isn't about supporting me. It's about deciding you're no longer the reactive version of yourself. It's choosing structure over mood, stability over noise, execution over comparison. You don't need to be louder. You need to be harder to shake.
And that starts tonight.